We are coming at you live today talking about a very juicy topic, and that is love and relationships. We know it's something on all of your minds, and we've already had tons of questions, but we can't wait for you to join us. So if you are joining us on YouTube, please remember to sign in so that we can see your comments and know that you're there. And we're also live on my Facebook page. So welcome. Hey, guys. How are you feeling, Benoit and Virginie?
Well, feeling amazing.
Kind of intense 3 days with yesterday I felt like crap all day pretty much. I don't know, it's like a lot of very, very tired, and I think a lot of people went through the same thing, whether it was in preparation of the portal of today or all the light showers that we're having to heal all the karmic changes and patterns. I don't know, but it's been kind of intense yesterday. Today's much better.
It is.
We lost Rainey.
Rainey.
No, we're gonna lose Rainey. Gotta stay here.
We need Rainey.
She's like, Rainey, we lost you.
Did you guys freeze up on me? Oh, you're there. Good. Okay. I was like, wait, no.
You froze. You were like,
we all here.
It was like kind of cute.
Like this?
Yeah. I believe it's part of all the glitches in the matrix that we've been experiencing, and the matrix manifests in our computers, phones, and also in our life. I'd say all the solar eruptions that have been happening, definitely sending a lot of crazy energy on the earth, and it's causing lots of glitches in my matrix. I don't know you.
Well, let me ask you this. How do you feel about us going ahead and setting the space and then maybe making introductions and starting to take some questions? Does that sound good?
Yeah, I love when you make the space, when you create the space.
Okay, so everybody, whether you're tuning in now or later, we're just going to ask you to just come behind closed eyes, start to breathe, noticing that in-breath, just bringing more and more light into your body. And with every exhale, just releasing all of the busyness of this day and just becoming more and more present with every inhalation, filling up with more and more beautiful, clear light until you're surrounded with a beautiful, glowing bubble of light. Each one of us is surrounded, and then this entire quantum conversation today is surrounded in a protective and beautiful bubble of light. We invite all of our highest vibrational masters, guides, light beings, angels, our team on the other side to please be here with us. And as always, Benoit, Virginie, and me just intend to be clear and perfect channels for any information you would like to bring through at this time for the greatest good of all that is. So be it, so it is. Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Well, I'll just go ahead and get us started with a real quick introduction. As you know, we're 3 international coaches. We represent different parts of the globe. My name is Rainey Highley. I'm in Sedona, Arizona. I represent For Authenticity. I help clients shed societal programming, awaken to their soul mission, and advance their spiritual growth. I help people remember that they have a life purpose, a soul mission, and they're here to live it. So I'm really excited to be here today, and I'm really, really happy to be talking about love and relationships with these 2 amazing radiant light beings. So thank you.
Thank you, my love. Beautiful beings. Virginie in Paris, and I'm a quantum coach and emotional healer, spiritual guide, and help people to remove their pain, beliefs, and patterns, to find their path, and to live, to find their best version of themselves, so they can find a good life.
Virginie,
yes.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but you don't happen to have another window open, do you?
Another window open. Let me check.
Just make sure.
No, I have another window, but I'm not even like, it's not.
As long as it's not our YouTube or Facebook, we're good.
Okay, I'm closing everything, so I don't.
It just will make an echo sometimes.
No, I don't have anything, but I don't see the questions anyway when there's questions. So it's Benoit taking care of that, right?
Yep.
Because I don't see them.
All good.
So anyway, yeah. So in Paris, we're going to soon start, hopefully, some quantum session also in French for the non-English one, and I think French people could definitely benefit for that. And we're having so much fun, and it's always such a pleasure to be with you guys. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Great pleasure. So I'm Benoit LeChevallier, and I am French, yes, based in San Francisco. I actually live in Oakland, across the bay from San Francisco, California. And my focus in life coaching is in helping people make peace with their past, basically, to be able to reclaim their true self, ultimately to live a life of in integrity with self and with everything that's around. The best summary I can give. We all do the same work. We're helping people regain their identity, reclaim their sovereignty, reclaim their life in every way possible. And I'm glad that I'll be working with Rainey and Virginie, because the spectrum of help that we can offer is pretty vast. And there we go. So gratitude.
Thank you, Benoit.
Well, and I have to say, like, I've had great feedback from people who are like, oh, I sent out an email telling people we're going to be talking about this, and everyone's like, wow, this is such a hot topic. Like, they're like, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say, because it's, it's one of those topics that either excites you or frightens you. And it's definitely, center of, I think, probably everyone's mind most all of the time.
But it's great to have those feedbacks from Sedona, because it's a very spiritual community. So it's fantastic that you hear you saying that.
Well, I'd say we have two big topics here: love and relationship. We could do a whole show just on love and a whole show just on relationship. And now combining love and relationship, it's an interesting mission. And I'm going to have to rely on channeling here so that I can leave all my personal experience out of it.
Yes. I was closing my eyes to connect fully with my higher self, and they're asking me to bounce back on hi Yuli, how are you? See some I can actually see some comments, so that's great. And and Rainey, you mentioned some people that are very afraid, and you mentioned the fear. Some people that hearing the subject love and relationship can be very afraid of, and I made a couple of group session, of healing session on love, and also on the one-to-one. But I was extremely surprised to see all the beliefs behind love, all the limited belief, all the frightened. I mean, so even like scary, like I can even say terror belief, with love and in relation to how to get in love, how to dive in love, or to fly in love, because you need to do both, because you need to dive to connect down to earth, to take the energy, and to fly to connect from the above. And it's some people are just like freaking out, and I realized it's through channeling their beliefs that can be so different. It's incredible.
Well, why don't we just start just with the differentiation between love and relationship? And I'll say for those people, especially my friends who are like kind of scared of the whole topic, like even if the relationship aspect of it may have been personally traumatizing for you throughout your life, which I think that's probably most of us, we've learned lots of lessons through relationships, you can still have access and enjoy full and complete unconditional love, regardless of whether you have any relationships with anyone other than yourself. Like, you can enjoy the experience of love even if you've had a traumatic past. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a perfect relationship to be in that experience of unconditional love. Like, it's something that you can receive from your animals. You can receive it from nature. You can receive it from, you know, spiritual beings in your life. There's lots of places where you can have that experience of unconditional love, even if it hasn't manifested for you in a relationship on earth.
It's what the guides are telling me. It's a lot of people have actually experienced this unconditional love in many ways, on many levels, but they are not aware of it. And
what's coming to me?
wow.
You have more? So what's coming to me is that love that we're talking about is actually everywhere. It's the force that keeps us all together, that keeps life together, and that relationships are on how people complete each other, how people cooperate in life, how their purpose join in this in life. This is just a high level download that I'm getting, that love is there, is everywhere, and once we accept it for ourselves, then we can find it in others. Relationships are primarily, all relationships are founded in love, whether we see it or not. And the only challenge is in feeling that love is whether we love ourselves or not.
But there's a difference. Everything is a relationship. As long as you interact with someone, you have a relationship, whether you may not be in love. And I like the English language for that, as it's not to fall in love, or as you say in French, être amoureux, or it's really to be in love, into this state of being in love. And when I try to explain that in French, sometimes it's very difficult because they don't see the difference. And for me, to fall in love, to be être amoureux, is something that is very conditioned, very into the attachment with all the beliefs, and you know, it's like you see in some relationship. No, but the guy has to invite me first, or the you know, those kind of things. And who is there to say that there is actually rules? There's no rules in the 5D, in other dimensions. In unconditional love, there's no rules. You are free to express yourself when you feel like it. And that's the difference for me between love and relationship. Is you can have many relationships. Love is another story. But what is fantastic, if when you get to the point where you can get into this unconditional love in every single relationship, whether you dislike, let's say, you cannot agree with a person, or you can be on different frequency as the other person, but you can still have this attitude of unconditional love, or this position of this surrendering of unconditional love.
Well, and just one thing I want to say that came to mind was a quote that I channeled in Divine Macroverse, and that is, love is the life force of existence. And when you think about that, it's like the oxygen we breathe as spiritual beings, you know, it's what fuels us and sustains us. And I think what you're saying is, what both of you guys are saying is, like, relationships is our ability to access that love and work in harmony with it, ideally, in an ideal world, you know?
Ideal word, because it's also something that what do you say? I realize I experienced this. It's very hard. You can feel sometimes that you're in love, or you can feel things, but if there's no trust, you need the trust, but not like just the trust about, okay, I trust you, or this kind of things, like the trust in a bigger picture to really dive and fly in love. Because if there's like a tiny piece that doesn't trust, love will kind of be a bit murky at that point.
I mean, I'll say something a little controversial here. if you want. Like, I really feel like my pursuit of love relationships in this lifetime has been a total waste of energy. Like, I feel like I would have been, I'm serious. I really feel like I would have been better off channeling all of that energy into my soul mission and saying, look, my twin flame's not on this planet. I'm not going to recreate that same relationship here, and everything's going to be a disappointment because it's not that relationship. So for people like me, like, you know, there's something to be said for coming to that realization earlier on in your life experience on this planet, so that you can really devote your time to what you came here to do and not get distracted. For other people, you do have your twin flame here, or that is part of your path, you know? But for me, that was not my primary path. And so I feel like it's been a huge distraction, to be honest.
That was one of the questions that came up. It's when you have, whether the mission is different. If your twin flame is on, if you connect into your twin flame on Earth, or if your twin flame is on another dimension. Does it mean that your soul mission is a different soul mission? Bear in mind that we all have a different soul mission. So, but you see what I mean by my question is are we going to approach life in a different way?
Well, if your twin flame's off planet, the reason they're off planet is they're supporting you on this soul mission, and they know it's too dangerous to incarnate. So that would be your primary focus, is like, what is my soul mission? Like, my twin flame's not incarnating to support me on something really big I'm supposed to be doing here. I need to be focusing on that, not trying to duplicate that soul twin flame love on a planet where it cannot be duplicated. Like, you know, if your twin flame's here, you know it. That's like, you have it here, or they're either here or they're not. And it is a lot of energy to try to find something that's not here, you know, and trying to duplicate it and then be disappointed.
Well, that's the problem. That's exactly the big issue about the twin flame theory, concept, or state that I've been noticing on people that I speak to and I share information with, or I guide. On many twin flame that I coach also, it's they get attached to replicate. And the twin flame is a journey. The twin flame concept or theory is a journey, is how to learn to heal so we can spread love and do our mission. It's not at all, and that's the I can see so often people say, oh, I'm cutting the cords, I'm cutting this and that with my twin flame because I'm tired of this. I want something, like a nice, easy peasy soulmate. It doesn't work like that because you cannot replicate. It's true. And that is the attachment to do the same thing. It's just to accept that this person is there, the energy is there. And then you can experience with a soulmate and have a different connection. And it's also maybe, which happens in every single relationship, is to dare to speak about it too. And your soulmate can actually understand it.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing is, even if your twin flame's not here, doesn't mean you're destined to like spend your entire life alone. I mean, this is a hard incarnation. Right. It's a difficult incarnation. And I think everyone's entitled to have a partner throughout this incarnation. I think it helps.
It's a free will to say whether you want to, it's also the energy. And some people in any sort of relationship, you always have this free will. How do I want to experience my life? Do I want to share with someone, or do I not want to? Or do I want to do it every day or not every day? Or do I want more space? Or but it's true that, some people, it's very strange what I see on certain reactions that are very ego-based. It's, oh, okay, I'm going to go with a soulmate. But if you twin flame is, in the other dimension, why not share your life and your experience with a, soulmate? That would be, there's no reason for that. And some people that are not happy with the roller coaster, when they have their twin flame on Earth and they're not happy with the roller coaster, they're like, oh, I'm going to go with a soulmate. but they're not happy because the energy is too strong. So that's a different story, but it's just because they're having a resistance to work on it. So they can have like a partner, like a soulmate partner for like bit and pieces, but that will not last. Even though they try to fight it, that will not last. Because when you control flame on Earth, you can fight as much as you want. You know, you will get connected. The universe will find this or that to put you together.
Well, I think this might be a good place to talk about the difference between like life partner, soulmate, and twin flame.
That's actually what was coming to me. That's the next thing to explain to people, because not everybody is even connected to the possibility of having a partner in another realm outside.
Right.
Most people don't even understand that there is life outside of this realm, and that we're only perceiving a very small, very, 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 very tiny percent of the whole reality. And so what's coming to me is, the expectations that people attach to what a relationship is through their belief system. So system creates our expectations for relationships. So I'd say most people look at relationships starting with boyfriend, girlfriend. I like to start with friends, because they are the true lasting relationships that can turn into loving relationships. And so boyfriend, girlfriend, then you have husband and wife. If you decide to tie the knots in whatever format, religion, culture. And then we have the soulmates, people that share our soul. This is a whole other topic. And then there are the twin flames, which is a whole topic in itself. And then there's all the other relationships.
There's more, because the husband, brother, sister, all of that, they are soulmates. There's like a whole bunch of different soulmates. Even someone that you might cross sitting next to you in Rainey, she wrote a book on that. So
I feel like soulmates are people who are members of your soul tribe. You know what I mean? Like that's your group that you came in here with. So when you reconnect with them, it's like, oh, you feel this deep connection, but it's because you're in the same soul tribe. That's my view.
I'll add one more layer of this, just a little piece of information that I received in 2005 at the International Conference on Science and Consciousness back in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I wish I could remember the name of the scientist who is a psychiatrist, actually PhD, who gave up his studies to give up focusing on the field of psychiatry when he realized that the whole field was dealing with treating people for their symptoms and not going to the roots. And so he decided to go study the soul. And the conclusion of the whole story is that we share our souls with 12 other individuals on 12 other souls on the planet. And those souls reside in the earth crust, in the crystal layers. And that 12 souls share a crystal, and which has 617 faces. So that's a detail. So there we go. That's another piece on soulmates.
So the point is,
there's also the karmic relationship. That's another thing. That's very different.
Yeah. Like those could be multiple karmic relationships, multiple soulmates or potential soulmates, but there's only one twin flame. Yeah. And, as you heard, I'll just bring this back to pop culture. You know that Megan Fox believes that Machine Gun Kelly is her twin flame, right? Have you heard this? So she left her husband, who she has the kids with, and she's now with Machine Gun Kelly, and they've been going everywhere. And she's like, look, we were the same soul prior to incarnation. When we incarnated, we separated, and we've just now reunited and found ourselves again, which I thought was pretty interesting.
I think it's very interesting. I am guided to put a warning onto the twin flame thing, because a lot of people, because they heard about the concept and they think it's kind of magical and everything. First of all, it's a real roller coaster. If you go through some twin flame, they go through a karmic relationship before meeting the twin flame, and that's a serious roller coaster. And it's not especially the most romantic relationship. So, then you have also the whole things of a lot of people will go and see psychic and therapist. Okay, can you please confirm, or card reader, can you please confirm it's not a twin flame? And this person might not be like with high frequency or something, and might guide, you know, the individual through twin flame or not. And then they might get attached to this idea, and they might focus on it, and they might go on a wrong path. So just whatever my message here, and that's what I repeat and repeat and repeat all the time. Do not let anyone tell you if that person is a twin flame or not. When you meet your twin flame, you feel it to such a level that there's no doubt. It's just like it's such an evidence. There's absolutely no doubt. You feel it deep inside. You don't know where you are. And so do not let anyone tell you he's a twin flame. Just, you can share, you can speak, you can feel, but trust yourself on what you feel. Is it very different of your previous relationship? Ask yourself this kind of question. Am I, you know, feeling something? Am I having fears? Am I having some beliefs and patterns that are awakened to much more, to a bigger extent than before with my previous relationship, that they were not like that? Do I feel that I want to run away sometimes, or do I feel like or if there's something that is very strong with a twin flame is telepathy? So ask yourself this question and feel deep inside, feel, and do not let anyone tell you whether this person or this person is a twin flame, because you might be guided to the wrong path and then miss out on an amazing relationship with a soulmate, or with you actually true twin flame.
Or yes, or you might miss out on fulfilling your soul mission because you're distracted on the wrong path.
Exactly. So,
well, and Yuli said something which is interesting, which is I also believe sometimes our soulmate decides not to incarnate in our present life. And I think that, you know, obviously applies to twin flames.
Yeah. That
specifically for this mission. This is a really, you know, we've come here, a lot of us have come here as advanced souls who are here on a mission, and it's a very challenging place to have a relationship, successful relationship. You get, you know, bombarded by everything on this planet. So taking that, for those people who do have twin flames here, you know, preserving and protecting that twin flame relationship and getting it safely into 5D, I think is really the goal. You know what I mean? But for the people whose soulmates or twin flames are on the other side, that's because they're there helping you. They're holding the space for you. I mean, that's like the twin flame of all twin flames. Yes, they love you so deeply that they're not incarnating. You told them not to. So for those people, you know, don't waste your time looking for your twin flame.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the thing to find out first, right? Is, are they incarnated or not?
And it's also feeling, yeah. And it's, you said something that resonates a lot, Rainey, because yesterday I was speaking with someone about that. I feel like the twin flame that have their twin flame on the direction are really here to, what you just said, to hold space and to be those like amazing manager who are going to lift you up or going to help you to go through trusting, to have this good mood and to have this kind of thing. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, the way you are. It's just it's something that it's just the way. What I've been feeling lately is the people that have their twin flame on another dimension have another way of speaking and sharing messages. And what you channel, and also what I feel is you have a connection. What I downloaded, it was yesterday, I think, or today. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. It's like you have connection with the Federation also, that is much stronger. That you know definitely which Federation you're speaking to, which one you are related to. The people that have the twin flame on Earth may not have, they will be very good channeler, but they will not be able to know which Federation they this. I mean, you see what I'm. If you want to rephrase.
No, it seems like they may have greater clarity on who they're in communication with on the other side.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. Absolutely.
That's what I channeled.
That's
That's what I channeled yesterday about that. Suddenly I had, when that person asked me the question, if the soul mission was different, suddenly I channel that and I say, okay, the message is different. It's not that the message is the same, because the purpose is also to remove all the different patterns. So that it's exactly, we have to do the same work. The work is not different, but it's more the way we communicate, the way we're going to share messages, the way we're going to help each others, and it's very interesting. So.
What's coming to me is that the difference between, I was going to say that me personally, I generally like to talk about the big etheric cosmic picture. And in this discussion, what's coming to me right now is to bring it back down to earth, and how once we're trapped into this human experience, when I say trapped, it's because most of us really believe that we are just this body and the thoughts that come with it. Once we are in that human vessel, human experience, then how we relate and what relationships are used for, what we do in relationships, become a primary concern. And for a lot of people, it's just that maybe just, a physical connection, just looking somebody to cuddle with at night, just to, get off whenever they feel like it. And other people want to share life experiences, and other people understand that they have a connection with the love of their life, which is not necessarily in this physical realm, going all the way to the other extreme. And we're talking about soulmates and twin flames. And we are working with this person or this other life form in another realm, in this reality, with different levels of understanding and interpretation of what a relationship should be. And I just went really from just the basic physical needs all the way to working together in relationships on cosmic goals, which don't involve a physical contact, and everything in between.
But I think what you're saying is we're having an experience on Earth, right, in this body. Whether you twin flame, karmic relationship, or soulmate, we all have pain, beliefs, and patterns that eventually we choose to keep or we choose to remove. This is a free will. How do we want to live this experience on Earth? And through that experience on Earth, we're going to meet some people that's going to give us keys, whether we want to get the keys or not, whether we want to change or to get out of a comfort zone, or we want to change something. And that comes to, I think, a question that you raised, Rainey, was on how to navigate through reality or something in those lines. And it's true that if we think about time, right, which is very like a 3D, and time is linear. But if we, whether you soulmate or, it doesn't matter, it's getting attached to some kind of boxes, which I don't like. Everybody knows
a label, exactly.
I really don't like that. So it doesn't matter. It's just observing. Take maybe a twin flame experience, because it's so strong and so hard and so tough. To use it as a key to help you, instead of looking at the time through a linear stage, to look at it from a vertical stage, so you can go through different dimensions and observe with a wiser eyes, and you can look beyond, and you can look differently, and therefore be more at peace, and you can come into the space of bliss. Speaking about relationship and attachment with the body, and it's all about those beliefs that we have, and it doesn't matter what kind of soul we, in which labeled soul we are. We all have those beliefs that we've been experiencing through different, like, family lines, or through just this life, and how we interacted with this person and that, and how much we got hurt, and have we kept that for ourselves, or did we share it, or all those kind of things, and what do we want to do with it now? So, and if we open up, and that's why relationship can help a lot. If we open up to relationship, and if you open up to love, you can actually communicate. And communication is commune in action. Okay, so we can communicate in a much more pleasant way and authentic way. Yeah.
Okay, so you're inspiring me to say something. Okay, so
thank you.
No, it's because I know there's people out there who are like, well, you know, I'm really attracted to this person, but are they my twin flame or are they my soulmate? And what if I love them and then they break my heart and blah, blah, blah. The answer is to always give love. That's the answer. To always choose to give love. It doesn't mean not to protect your own feelings and stuff, but I think it's like any time that we are in love or feeling love or having that sort of relationship with anybody, we are creating the higher vibrational earth, right? I mean, that's part of our path, is to add more love to the planet. So whatever way we get there, you know, I think is helpful, because I think that's what we're supposed to be doing. And I do think there's people out there like similar to me who are like, I'm just going to stay away from it. It's too messy. It's taking me off my path. And then you end up with maybe not enough love interaction in your life, right? So you don't want to be like that either. You want to make sure that you are absorbing as much love and giving as much love. And that's like unconditional, pure love from your soul. Right? Because that's what we're here to do on a larger scale. So it's a very important topic.
And also to protect yourself. When you said that, something came up to me, is I see so many people that goes into the ego body, ego mind, and okay, I got to protect, if I act like that, I'm going to look vulnerable, I'm going to look weak, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to do that. And they miss out on an amazing experience, even though it's like a one-night stand. That might be an amazing experience. But if they want to protect, no, I'm not going to do that. Use protection, but not that kind of protection.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes. So, but it's, you know, to protect yourself too much and not to express yourself, not to dare to say what you feel, what you want, to express your desire, and then you're going to miss on something. You might miss on a lot of things. You might miss on the most amazing relationship and maybe the most amazing experience.
Right. Like everyone's caught up in having the twin flame relationship that like a lot of good things get thrown out because people don't think they are the twin flame relationship. Right. Mm-hmm. And I think there's some mode of acceptance for some people that like, hey, my twin flame's not here. This could be a great, you know, friendship, or this could be a great partnership, or whatever it is. But there's all sorts of things beyond and besides the twin flame relationship that will bring more love into this world and more joy into your life.
I think it's not to get attached to anything and to any label, and just feel and experience. And if you feel it, you know, it just. And I think once it's love, you know, you just cannot. It's just something. It just happens. I used to say, you know, when those things happen, it's like pass the dog. You know, it's just like the dog that crossed the road and pass the bus. Pass the dog. So just like when it happens, it happens. And when there's love, it just happens. You just experience.
It's beautiful. You know, what's coming to me is going back to the work that we do in our life coaching. It's helping people dealing with negative emotions, and in particular the one that we hear a lot, don't deserve love, I deserve love. And what you were talking about, what it really brought up is this concept that people get stuck thinking that it's an ego thing to love oneself. And how much it is important to love oneself before we can be open to unconditional love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's big.
It's very big. It's giving me chills just like having that question come up. That topic.
It is. We're trained that loving ourselves is being selfish, and it's, you know, a sin and bad. I mean, that's traditional. We've been taught that, but now in the new day and age, we're learning that it's good and positive and helpful and important before we enter into any relationships.
Yeah, but it's still very hard because of all those beliefs behind loves. So if the beliefs is fucked up, is with my friend fucked up, or if it's murky, or if it's kind of muddy, you know, you're going to get into some kind of murky, muddy, or fucked up love relationship. So first you have to heal yourself, and to what I give as exercise quite often during my coaching classes or individual sessions are, what is your definition of love? How do you see love? Not what you hope it will be, or even you can write everything that's coming through your mind about love and relationship love, and then you see, okay, is it something that I want to experience that way, or is it something I see that way? And you know, and you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. And you can see that, and then you can ask yourself also, okay, how does my friend, and to do that as a group session is fantastic, because you can see how people have so many different beliefs, and it's like, no, but love is not that, love is like that, blah blah blah, no, blah blah. But as a, you know, as a partner, I want a partner that would be like that, you know, and that will show me love. No, something you can hear every day. You hear, yeah, but if he's not jealous, that means that he doesn't love me. I'm like, what? I don't want to have a boyfriend that is jealous. It's just like, no way, it doesn't work. And love is freedom, you know, it's trust, freedom, and it's just allowing yourself to be. So, but many people don't see it that way.
And what do you think most people say? What most people are looking for?
A lot of people, as love and relationship, what I see, there's this big belief on if we're not together every day, that means we don't love each other. There's the belief that if he doesn't call me every day, or if he doesn't, he's not the one, you know, making the first step, that means doesn't give a shit. Or there's the belief that, what can I say?
There's lots of belief attached to all the religious expectations, cultural expectations of every country, of how men and women are supposed to meet, who decides who meets who and how. And there's all these beliefs that are kind of trapping us into creating expectations of relationships which have nothing to do with love.
And it's kind of like, you know, you wonder if your self-love is totally intact, would you be as sensitive to that? Probably not. Like if he didn't call you, it wouldn't matter. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, he's busy. Right? Like, I mean, it comes back to really having a strong sense of self-love and self-worth, so that those little things that partner does or does not do don't have such a great impact.
And do you want someone that's going to call you if he's busy because he's not going to be with you when he's calling you? I'm not sure.
Sorry, Piper's joining in this discussion.
Yeah, it's just, and men and women, we don't act the same way. So it's also accepting that we have a different men, you know, when they are, you know, under stress and something, they have they need to go into their little space much more than women that need to express it a bit more. And it's also saying that, God, okay, also your partner is not especially your best friend, and you don't have to say everything to your partner. You might not want to hear this or that, but your girlfriend or you friend might be very happy to hear about that.
Right.
Because it's just like, oh, but I'm telling everything to my husband. Like, yeah, but, and then, you know, you divorce and, you know, and those kind of things. And you don't have to say everything. You can just like to measure and to feel what you're going to say and what you're not going to say. It doesn't mean, it's not lying. It's just like, okay, maybe he doesn't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
Something else that's coming to me about and this is in particular about men, that in the Western civilization, in Western society, men get stuck in the adulthood because they don't we don't get rites of passage. We don't get to really grow up, become adults. We don't have menstruation like women have, which kind of forces that rites of passage.
Right.
And
yeah.
so the challenge is that men grow up into adulthood staying as adolescents, and they don't really reach that wisdom until it's retirement age, when they have time to start to figure out what they're doing with their life. They and I'm talking in a very general stereotype way, and I feel like I relate to it because I had to go through that awakening myself. And the whole reason this comes to me now is because we're talking about beings who are stuck in that adolescent states where we haven't really matured to understand what relationships, how we can work together. And then people get to early relationships because they fall in love or they have great sex or something. And then in their early 20s, and they really haven't figured out who they are, figured out all their life. So there's all these very conflicting expectations that build up on what we're still expecting from a relationship, which has nothing to do with a relationship. It's more about how I can go flirt with a girl and how, what are all the things that I'm supposed to say, to all the rules of politeness, all the rules of how to deal with, a partner. Yes, Virginie.
Yeah, there's something else coming up. Is also there's a lot of people that are looking in the other person what they it's not, they cannot find yet in themselves. So they want to feel like a whole with something from the outside, but it doesn't work at the end. There's always an issue at one point.
It's always a reflection, it's like at some point, whatever happens in that relationship is some lesson or a message to you, it's like, okay, this person and everything that's bugging me about them is a reflection of what I need to work on in myself.
Yeah, my big question is, what do I have to learn from that? What is it teaching me? When I get bothered,
what is it teaching
when I get triggered, it's okay. What this experience is teaching me, and what do I got to learn from that? And I may not have the answer right away. I may have it a couple of days later, but I tend to have the answer when I just send that question to the universe, and I just surrender to it. And I don't think it's easy all the time, and it's much easier now, but it used to be kind of a challenge. Be very, very tricky to say, okay, what do you have to learn from that? I'm tired of this work. Just like, I want to go. Can I go to some other planet, please? But yeah, it's to try to this emptiness that sometimes we feel in ourselves, to always go on the outside to try to how do you say the correct word? It's just everything is within you. So you can go and look outside as much as you want. If you haven't find it inside you, it will not come to you, and it will, or it might come, but it will go right away. So you might as well do the work.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
well,
I have a question. I mean, what do you guys feel is like the biggest kind of difference between relationships in the old earth, the third dimensional earth, and relationships in the new earth that we're creating and stepping into? What are some of the differences that you're seeing?
The first thing that comes to me is the difference between a relationship by force and a relationship by choice. That's the
and also the couple will not be the same thing. So you can be as much as you want attached to the word couple. It's not going to be experienced the same way. That's what I've been channeling for the last couple of months. And it's just the
word what?
Couple.
Couple. Mm-hmm.
And I understand now. I had so much resistance to that word for so long, because I know it's going to be experienced. There's much more freedom. There's much more. And what Benoit is saying is it's so spot on. Yeah, it's not the same thing. It's just going to be so different. I don't think some people are touching those experiences on 5D by going back and forth, and it's just trying to embody the 5D experience now.
Yeah, and it's almost like, third dimensional love type relationships. Sometimes you get the egos involved. One person's taking more from the other and depleting you. And it seems like fifth dimensional relationships are like, wait, I'm my best self and this person is their best self. And we continue to get better. Like we grow and we level up together instead of like trying to take from one another.
Yeah.
Which is exciting to be moving to that.
There's a stage to my understanding, there's a stage when you meet and where you frequency adjust, and then you start lifting up each other. And it's not anymore like, like with a twin flame when you go like that. One point when they meet, you can feel this frequency adjusting, and then it's growing up and with a new level of consciousness. But because there is this unconditional love, it's possible. It's only possible with unconditional love, because you're not judging the other one. You're not trying to get something out of the other one. You're okay into this thing.
That unconditional love is like a requirement for entry into 5D.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Right. Embodying that unconditional love. What another thing that comes to me from this is that in the 3D, there's more stress that's generated from relationship. And in the 5D, it's more of a blissful, ecstatic experience. Where
that's a good point.
And so the way it's also manifests is that in the 3D, couples are two different people. In the 3D, couples are one.
No, 5D. No.
I'm sorry, in the 5D. Sorry, in the 5D. In the 5D.
No, it's not one people.
Well, it's a 2 + 1. 2 + 1 + 1 = 3. I like to say.
Yeah, but you're talking about twin flame in that matter. You're not talking about soulmate. For example, you're not taking the whole soul picture.
Well, I'm talking about, in this case, yes, you're talking about specifically love relationships, and I'm talking even in the 5D relationship world when we are entering even just friendships, two true friends, people who are really trusting each other. When they start to join forces, then they become greater than the sum of the two. And it's the same thing in the work environment. I'm not talking about the ultimate pure love experience of the twin flame, one that.
Yeah, but we're speaking. You're speaking about quantum then, about like the one and the whole and this. So with the collective consciousness and extra. And it's true that if more and more people will embody this unconditional love, we could create into this 3D terrestrial mundane world some relationship that will be much more constructive, because then you will be able to listen and to hear and to feel way beyond what is happening right now. So, but for that, trust. So because it's so hard to get into unconditional love. Sorry to repeat that over and over, but that's my guide. I kind of push it. I feel like I've got the hammer. Usually, trust first. Trust. No, it's true. I had like this breakthrough in January, like massive breakthrough, and I realized that the love for myself after the breakthrough about trust expanded, and I could feel it in my heart, and my heart chakra was like that. And it's still, the more I trust, the more I love, and it's not the opposite.
Oh, yes.
I love when you-
Definitely not the opposite, right? I had to think about that, but you're right.
So the trust, I mean, I was so sure for so many years that you needed love to trust more, you needed this and that. But then at one point I was like, no, if you have the trust, you need the trust. And that my breakthrough was in January, so it's very recent. And when I had this breakthrough, I will remember it was like, I could feel it like coming up. And then I started having tears. And then I saw the word writing in front, written in front of me, like trust. I was like, and then tears went to another level. And I was like, but it was like releasing tears. It was just so beautiful, such an amazing experience. And then many things happened.
Well, and it's almost like that unconditional love opens up a portal, like a direct entryway into the fifth dimension or into the higher dimensions that we just kind of float into. It's pretty easy, right? We just have to focus on all the good things we want, all the good things we want to create, and then we just step into it.
Well, it's something, I don't know if you mentioned that to a previous session, intention and manifestation. I think we spoke about it before. And the more we get into this, okay, so trust, unconditional love, and what Benoit always say, which I love, is like being present into this vertical timeline, because if you're into this vertical timeline, you're present, you're not into this linear 3D timeline. When you have that, you have an intention, and seriously, just like manifest. It's just like it gets, and I experienced it recently, like more and more. Have an intention, it manifests. Within the next 2 hours.
Well, that's part of the key to getting your relationship into the higher frequencies too, is have an intention about it, a co-intention that you're both focused on, right? Amplify it and magnetize it.
Yes.
And I think, and don't you think, like, instead of becoming sometimes like warring partners, like in the fifth dimension, you really become co-creative pairs, co-creative partners, you co-create a beautiful life together, and it's active. And there's, I just feel like all of, like, kind of what you were saying, Benoit, that fighting and that ego stuff is just falling away as we move up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful when people join forces with trust and unconditional love. They support each other in their action, and action is what creates our reality. And when it's fueled by love, the end result is lovely.
I'd like to add something. It's not because we are working so much on ourselves and we are going like very frequently into this fifth dimension that it's easy every day, because the mind and the ego is like my worst enemy. It's just like it comes and goes, and it becomes more and more sneaky every time. And so I'm like, no, but why do I feel that? So I tend to repeat to myself this thought, or it doesn't belong to me, it's just my ego mind. This I am not that thought, and I'm not this, and I am not this pattern is not me. It's just something that coming, but it's showing me many different things. It's showing me how I was before, what kind of pattern of beliefs that I had before, and it's showing me the journey that I did so far. And sometimes it's just like a French friend told me, oh, today I'm feeling so bad. I'm into this PLS position, and it's so in English would be position security. So SLP is the security lateral position. So just lying in bed and not moving, not doing anything. So sometimes I have like my 2-3 hours, and I'm doing that too, because I still have, like anybody on earth, I still have some things to process, and we all have. So just to say that it's not because when we do those quantum sessions that it's all beautiful every day. We also have our down moment, and we normally cancel our session, coaching session, or we cancel our video, or so if it might happen that at one point those live session might be canceled because we're going to process something, because we're all going through that. So it's not because we're all smiley and happy tonight that this is the case every day. No, it's just, because it's important. A lot of people say, oh my God, they're always happy when they, on YouTube and everything. But it's not the case. We are human after all. Even though we are having an experience in the human body, we're still human. Even though we travel quantum jumping and we're going to different galaxies and meeting some, Lemurian or Arcturian or whatever, just like in different cosmos or still. So we also have our down moments.
Yes. So that's right. Like anyone tuning in, like wherever you are, whatever you're feeling, whether you're feeling tons of unconditional love and you're receiving tons of unconditional love, or maybe you don't feel any love around you, just know that that's not true. You are love. You're surrounded by love all the time. And it doesn't matter where you are on your journey. You always have access to that love.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. And it's beating heart. It's beating in everybody's heart. This heart is just the frequency that keeps us alive, and it's our connection to the source of the universe, whatever you want to call it. And it manifests through love, and we are love. Voila, that's what I like to say. Everything we do is motivated by love, by the way, whether we be or not.
I just feel like adding something about affirmation, that I am love, and those kind of things. That's been, especially in the States and more in European countries nowadays, positive affirmation and positive thinking. We have to be careful about that because not to suppress our emotion. So, to say, I feel fantastic when you don't feel fantastic, don't do that, because that's going to be your worst nightmare at one point. So if you feel crap, allow yourself to feel crap and say it. And if you feel fantastic, say it. If you want to do some positive affirmation, feel it, mean it. If you repeat a positive affirmation but you don't feel it and you don't embody that affirmation, that's not going to do any good for you. But be careful of the intention, the energy that is behind the affirmation, the positive thinking. If it's like, oh, just like receive a car in my head, it's fantastic. I'm more like, I feel like crap, and you're lying to yourself. You're in denial of your shitty state. And so allow yourself to be true to yourself first. And don't hide, don't repeat and don't say wrong positive affirmation. Say it when you mean it.
When you're feeling good and you're believing it and you're feeling it, not when you're resisting it. Well, definitely not.
No, but I do believe sometimes I don't feel so amazing when I'm in those down moments, but then I focus and like, okay, I center myself. I'm like, okay, I am a unlimited being. I am, and I can repeat some affirmation, but I aligned with myself first. So I remove my ego mind. So I'm not into this false information.
Well, or people who don't even want to go into their own mind at all. One thing I recommend is, I think that Abraham Hicks has an amazing morning rampage. It's like 7 minutes long, and it's just a beautiful sequence of affirmations. Like, today is an amazing day. It's all these good things. And it's like, man, some mornings I just don't have it in me. I'm like, I can't say an affirmation for the life of me, but I can turn this on and I can listen to it and I can receive it. And every time I do, I always have the best day ever.
Really?
It's been a really great tool, so for people who don't have it, I'll go ahead and put the link in the comments.
Beautiful. I have something similar I've done, other than a video. A solution to prompt myself at the beginning of the day is to write 2 pages of gratitude. And little by little, it starts to get to me. Be grateful for life.
Yes, be grateful for life.
You write it? Write it?
I just said, handwritten, like journaling, automatic writing, just gratitude everything for my life, for the earth, for the air I breathe, for everybody in my life, for the food I eat, for the plants that grow outside, for the wind, the ocean, for everything.
Yeah. Gratitude always takes us back to unconditional love.
There we go.
Well, this has been amazing, everyone. How do you all feel? Do you feel complete?
I definitely feel complete right now. We're circled back to unconditional love.
I do. I feel tons of unconditional love surrounding us. I hope you're all tapped into that wonderful feeling and you're absorbing it. We're so happy that you've tuned in with us, and we're really looking forward to talking with you next time. Thank you so much for your comments and your questions and for being here and being present and part of our community. I'm signing out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Till next time.
Thank you, guys.
Mwah.
Thank you.